The leaders of the House Judiciary Committee will meet today to discuss the Durham report's findings after John Durham testified before the House Judiciary Committee, revealing that the FBI ignored Hillary Clinton's plan to link Trump to Russia during the 2016 election.
Mr. Durham, in the summer of 2016, did our government receive intelligence that suggested Secretary Clinton had approved a plan to tie President Trump to Russia?
Yes.
Was that intelligence important enough for Director Brennan to go brief the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the Attorney General of the United States, and the Director of the FBI?
Yes.
And was that intelligence put then into a memorandum, a referral memorandum?
Yes.
And was that memorandum then given to Director Comey and Agent Strzok?
That's who it was addressed to, yes.
Congressman Jeff Andrews sits on the House Judiciary Committee and was in that hearing yesterday and joins us this morning. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
A lot happened during that 6-hour testimony that you were a part of. So tell us your top takeaway.
My top takeaway is, and as I mentioned there at the hearing, and there was a lot of important takeaways, but most important is the FBI is supposedly exists and is there to protect American citizens. And right now, American citizens need protection from the FBI. My second takeaway is that the few changes that they have made is not enough. We need an FBI that we had for generations that we can trust, that we know is objective, that we know is non-political, non-politicized, that is non-weaponized, that isn't corrupt, that doesn't use bad sources. I mean, just think of what really struck me, among many things that did, was the FBI was using just one source I'll mention, Danchenko. This individual is a foreign agent, a bad guy. Not only were they relying on his information, which was a complete lie and never happened what he said, false information, but they were paying him for this. So they're taking American tax dollars, and I always think of working people, how they must feel as they work their butt off to try to make a living, used to pay off this guy just to get information that they never verified and they kind of knew wasn't true, but they were so politicized and so wanted to get Trump, they went with it anyway. That's unbelievable for the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We need major reorganization.
There were a lot of notable moments yesterday. One of the biggest mic drop moments occurred between this exchange between Congressman Adam Schiff and Mr. Durham. Watch.
Don Jr. was informed that a Russian official was offering the Trump campaign, quote, very high-level and sensitive information, unquote, that would be incriminating if Hillary Clinton was part of, quote, Russia and its government support of Mr. Trump? Are you aware of that?
Sure. People get phone calls all the time from individuals who claim to have information like that.
Really, the son of a presidential candidate gets calls all the time from a foreign government offering dirt on their opponent? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think this is unique in your experience.
Wow. Wow. Durham, of course, referring to Schiff getting punked basically by Russian comedians promising dirt on Donald Trump. But generally, how embarrassing and completely not self-aware was Adam Schiff yesterday and all the Democrats, quite frankly, on that panel, even before Schiff was censured?
Well, that's the point. I mean, there's a real problem, I believe, with their party, and it's greater than just one political party versus another. They have a philosophy, and the philosophy is what applies for me does never apply to you. So, whether it's gun charges in the case of the president's son, Hunter Biden, whether it is in, the misuse of the FBI and what they've done, and they have actually done much worse, were more corrupt, more involved with activities that were inappropriate and illegal than President Trump ever was. The reality is, and I know whether you like Trump or not is not the issue here, the reality is he was telling the truth, the real deal. And you know what else bothers me? And you always hear that term, the deep state. Right. And God, you hope it's not true in America. We've got a deep state.
100%.
This is really serious.
Congressman Jeff Andrews, got to leave it there.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.